What if the words of the Prophet, the same ones you've heard your whole life, weren't meant the way you thought? What if a single misunderstood hadith has held back your peace, your growth, your perspective? Sometimes the deepest truths are hidden behind the simplest words. When they're truly understood, hadiths aren't just sayings. They're reflections of the Prophet's wisdom, his mercy out, his mission. But over time, some have been taken out of context, oversimplified, or misunderstood altogether. And when sacred words are misquoted, they don't just mislead, they misrepresent. In this video, we're not here to argue. We're here to reflect. You're about to hear 5 hadiths often misunderstood by many, but when seen through the right lens, they don't just correct perception. They heal hearts, inspire action, and unlock a deeper understanding of what Islam truly stands for. The hadith, they are not just narrations. They are echoes of the Prophet's heart, his wisdom, his warnings, his love for humanity. But in a world of viral posts and disconnected quotes, some hadiths are lifted out of their depth and lose their true meaning, quoted without context, without understanding who they were for, why they were said, or the tone in which they were spoken. And when that happens, beautiful teachings are reduced to cold commands. Compassion is mistaken for harshness. Balance is buried under extremes. Our aim today? Not to preach, but to help you see more clearly. We'll explore 5 hadiths that are often misunderstood and share the reflection, the history, and the wisdom behind them, as seen through the eyes of the scholars who studied them with care. Because when the Prophet spoke, he spoke to the soul, and the soul understands through context, through humility, and through light. I have been commanded to fight the people. At first glance, this hadith sounds intense, and sadly, it's been used by critics to paint Islam as violent. But let's go deeper. The full narration found in Sahih al-Bukhari continues. Until they testify there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. This wasn't a blank check for aggression. It was revealed in a specific moment, a time of war, betrayal, and persecution. Scholars like Imam Nawawi and Ibn Hajar made it clear. The people here refers to those in active opposition, not all of humanity. The Prophet lived in peace with non-Muslims. This hadith wasn't a war cry. It was a wartime statement. Misunderstood, it causes fear. Understood properly, it restores balance. Women are deficient in intellect and religion, a line that's been twisted, misquoted, used to demean women. But the Prophet wasn't mocking. He was teaching. This hadith, found in Sahih Muslim, was spoken during Eid. Deficiency in religion? It referred to exemptions from prayer and fasting during menstruation, not a woman's worth or her spirituality. Deficiency in intellect? It spoke about emotional influence in specific legal testimony, not intelligence as a whole. History proves it wrong to generalize it. Aisha, for example, was a scholar of scholars. Islam doesn't belittle women. It honors them when truly understood. Cleanliness is half of faith. We hear it in hygiene campaigns, but it goes far deeper than soap and water. Yes, Islam emphasizes physical purity. Wudu, ghusl, clean clothes. But according to Ibn Rajab, it's also about spiritual cleanliness, purifying the heart from envy, from arrogance, from hypocrisy. Half of faith isn't just clean hands, it's a clean soul, because someone spotless on the outside can still be corrupt within. True Islam is harmony, body and heart aligned. Cleanliness, inside and out. He who changes his religion, kill him. One of the most controversial and most misunderstood, used unfairly to label Islam as intolerant. But scholars point to context. This hadith recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari was about high treason, when individuals left Islam not for faith, but to join enemy forces in wartime, threatening the survival of the Muslim community. Ibn Taymiyyah and others explain, it's about rebellion, not belief. The Quran clearly states, there is no compulsion in religion. 2:256. This isn't a personal punishment. It's a legal rule for a time of war, not a verdict on personal faith. The strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than the weak believer. Some think this is about muscles. It's not. The strength here is the strength of faith. Imam Nawawi explained, it's about resilience, strength to resist sin, strength to stay patient, strength to act when giving up is easier. Yes, health matters, but in times of trial, it's not your body that will carry you through. It's your iman. This hadith is a call to build your inner strength, to become unshakable when life tests you most. The words of the Prophet Muhammad were never careless. They were precise, gentle, timeless, but when stripped from their context, their beauty is buried beneath misunderstanding. Hadiths aren't headlines. They're doorways into a deeper understanding of life, faith, and self. If we approach them with humility, with sincerity, with hearts ready to learn how, we'll find Islam is not harsh, and the Prophet was never cruel. The faith he lived was filled with compassion, justice, mercy. Today you heard 5 hadiths, often misread, misused, misunderstood, but now you've seen their true light. If they moved you, share that light. Send this to someone who quotes without context. Invite reflection, not argument. And above all, seek knowledge like the early scholars did, with awe, with sincerity, with love for the truth. Because hadiths, they aren't just information, they're guidance.